What an animal. I just dropped my mic. Way to go. Way to start this episode. Oh, man. What episode is it? Kick us off here.
It's 20. Is it 27? It's 28.
28. 28. Because I said it was 26 last time. But
Okay.
it's actually 27 last time. So it's 28 this time. Which is awesome.
Yeah. We got to talk about that after. 28 episodes.
Dude, so what we got coming up on
We
this episode?
have baseball drafts, which I'm fired up about. We have AL, NL, showdown, certain positions.
We have our own little All-Star
game.
games,
I agree.
essentially. Let's
So
go.
we have that.
Those are gonna be
we
good
had an electric game last night between the U.S. and Canada in the men's soccer. And spoiler alert, U.S. beat Canada going to the semifinals and penalties. We'll talk a little bit about that. Talk about Joe's haircut.
The
Yeah.
US of A prevails.
We'll talk about Joe's haircut and why it needs to stay.
Yes.
That's also a big segment. And then I made Joe do the Florida man because I was tired of losing.
It's a grind when you're losing.
It's just like some days you're the bug, some days
Yeah.
you're the windshield. And I really feel like I'm the bug.
It's
lately.
true.
But
It's
I just
true.
think facts.
And speaking of adversity and fighting uphill and losing, last week we didn't have a video on YouTube, if anyone normally watches YouTube, because we said we were fighting uphill trying to get an episode out. We recorded on our phones. It was fine. But we were at the beach, didn't have great internet, which is why we were doing that. Then your boy went to Starbucks to try to get everything set up. Didn't have good internet there, used my hotspot, but ran out of data in it. So it was pretty much all we could do to get audio and download that because file sizes are large, especially when you're on a
Yeah.
hotspot. So, yeah,
Let's go.
happened.
Well, we got it out. Well, cool. Well, what are we diving into first here?
Dude, let's talk a little bit about the US of A soccer. Let's kick
I
that
like
off.
I like that.
I'm becoming a soccer guy, so
So-
inform me. Yeah.
Canada is actually pretty solid when it comes to soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. Brandon Vasquez, an up-and-comer for the U.S. soccer, scored in the 88th minute. Listen to this, okay? He scored in the 88th minute for us to go up 1-0. And then we gave up a penalty in extra time. So after the 90th minute, we gave up a penalty. So it was tied 1-1 going into overtime. And then we had Canada had an own goal. And so we were able to score there. But before with the own goal, Canada scored in the 109th minute, which is the second overtime. So usually they do two 15-minute overtimes. And so he scored in the 109th minute and an own goal for, off Canada that is a point in the right direction for us. So I guess we scored in the 114th minute and then we won in penalties. So what a crazy game. Glad the U.S. squeaked it by. And it's kind of cool. I think they're up to 11th now, Joe, in the world rankings. So U.S. soccer is creeping up. Arguably, this is the most talent. Yeah, arguably, this is the most talent we've ever had on a men's soccer national team. There's a couple downsides, though, I will say. So
Let me hear them.
the top 100 list came out of soccer players. I don't know if you saw it. It was last week, right? No one from the U.S. made it. Not one person from the U.S. made the top 100 list. So we're playing pretty well as a team. And even with the Gold Cup, we're missing a lot of stars like Pulisic, Dest, Reyna. So we're missing a lot of like top players. But even with that, I was surprised to see that no U.S. player was in the top 100. Now, I'm not a soccer expert, so I can't break it down and exactly tell you who the top 100 are. But what I will say, that shows me that we still don't have the edge in any positions, especially when it comes to a national level. You know, so
That's true, but maybe that's the secret. We need to avoid the superstars and get a scrappy team that plays
that
well
could be the
together.
secret.
You know, maybe that's what the U.S. of
Maybe
A
it
needs.
is. You
Who
know,
knows?
maybe it is.
The other thing we need to do is keep having games like you just described, because I think that could
Yeah.
get me into soccer. If I knew that all the games were going to be that electric.
No goals for 88 minutes.
We're not talking any 0-0
Yeah,
ties. We're
no
talking,
goals, which actually would probably piss you
well,
off.
I'm talking about like from 88 and 1 second on. Yeah. But if I watch the end,
If you
that
watch
would-
the last like 45 minutes,
it's the classic thing of it's just because I don't understand and know soccer. Like a baseball game, it could be a 1-1 game or something low scoring,
Right.
and I'm still fascinated by it. I'm still into it because you get the little like intricacies that go into the sport. I don't know soccer like that, so of course I see a 0-0 game. I'm like, that's just boring.
Yeah.
Which is ignorant of me. I understand.
yeah, that's why it's so fun to watch with my dad.
I want to
when
like
I
it.
watch soccer, because my dad played college soccer, and so when I watch soccer with my dad, he can kind of like break it down a little bit, and so it's kind of cool hearing like. So I didn't watch last night's game with them,
so that's
but
why
I
you're an
watched a
athlete.
couple weeks ago when they played St. Kitts, which is obviously not a great team, but it's fun to see him like because he knows those little intricacies of the play and stuff of the pitch, if you will. I mean, of the they call it a game over there. What do they
Pitch.
call it? A match? They call it a match.
Match, I think.
Yeah.
The match off the pitch with the footy.
Yeah.
What other words?
I
for
think
it?
it's the match on the
Anyway.
pitch with the footy.
That's cool though.
I think that's what they say. Oh,
I think that we're right. Actually, hold on, my phone's ringing. They're asking us to be commentators for the soccer, as you call it. Soccer. Football.
Also, I will say
Golf, though.
John Deere Classic. But before John Deere, I actually want to touch on Wimbledon because your boy, as you know,
tennis.
as you already know, your
Has a new
boy
racket.
has been getting more into tennis, got a new racket, been playing more. So now, when I watch tennis, I can kind of appreciate more how good these players like actually are. And so I will say there's only one American in the round of 16. One. You have Christopher Eubanks in the round of 16. So I watched a lot of it in the last couple of days. And we had Taylor Fritz, who's a great American tennis player. He went out. I think in the second round. So Christopher Eubanks, only American in the top 16. Top 16. We have a lot of matches going on today, Monday, July 10th. I watched the Carlos Alcaraz match. I think it was yesterday. And I'm telling you what, man, he's number one in the world for a freaking reason. That guy is an absolute animal. And what blows me away about these tennis players is how
kinda like
hard
you.
they hit the tennis ball.
This is so dumb. But I remember the first time that I, like in high school, played tennis. Like pretty much the first time I ever played it. And I knew how hard
Yeah.
that tennis players hit the ball. I'm like, that's great. I can hit the ball hard. So I just got my first one, and I just laid into it with zero spin, full-on baseball swing, and just launched a tennis ball at least 100 feet outside of the fence.
You gotta do that.
I was like, but like, don't they hit it really hard? It was just a straight, perfect launch angle bomb.
You probably hit 100 miles an hour.
No spin, nothing. I mean, I probably cranked it. I was like, at that moment, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they
tennis is
freaking
really
do.
hard.
They serve the ball 130 miles an hour, most of them. Serve. It's nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really nuts.
With accuracy.
Also, I learned what break point means.
That's blows my mind.
Break point means when you win a game when the other person's serving. So you break their serve is the term.
That's interesting.
So I feel like between soccer and
But
tennis,
everyone knows you can't lose on
I'm
serve.
learning a lot.
And you're educating me. You're educating our
For
people.
all of those or most people who don't watch, tennis or soccer here in the United States.
Well, why don't you keep on doing the good work and tell us about the John Deere Classic with a field of absolutely
I'm telling you what,
nobody.
man. I'll
that fair
keep
to
doing
say?
the Lord's work over here. So,
Ooh, well, while you're doing that, shout out Ricky Fowler because we didn't really talk about it. Actually, no, we didn't talk about it all last week. So he got the dub.
oh, that's true. We didn't talk about. Shout out for winning the freaking Rocket Mortgage, which is like his biggest sponsor.
Yes. He's a full-on billboard for Rocket
Dude, I'm
Mortgage.
telling you what.
Yeah.
They had to be happy.
So that was exciting because he'd been up there at the top and playing really well. But
yeah, they had to be freaking happy, dude. So, yeah, John Deere, it's kind of like, it's not one of the, highlighted tournaments that they've done throughout the PGA or throughout this season, right? When they were in competition with Liv. And they did like these specific highlighted high purse tournaments. So it's not like a required event, and obviously there's not as much money. So it didn't have a ton of big names, but I will say, shout out Adam Shank, who seems to be coming in the top 10 in a lot of tournaments lately. So he was tied fourth. Yeah,
He's your
Shank.
guy.
He was tied fourth at 18 under. And then Sepp Straka, who is from Austria. Yeah, Sepp Straka, who is from Austria, won it. So you don't see him much.
it sounded exhilarating, though. I have been watching a lot more golf.
So I want to
tournaments.
double check real quick, but that was his first PGA Tour title.
Okay.
So he's
That's
ranked
exciting.
50th
Congrats
in the
to
PGA
him.
Tour right now. Good for Sepp.
Love that. Way to go, Seppi. It's kind of like Yosepi.
What does that mean?
Basically, we're saying I'm going to be on the PGA Tour at some point.
Yeah.
My name, Joseph Yosepi.
Yosepi.
Right?
Yosepi.
Something like that.
Yosepi. Yeah, but also.
Any other things in the golf world
Oh,
coming up?
heck
anything
yeah, there is.
interesting? Yeah.
Two things I want to touch on real quick. One, the Open Championship, right? Which comes up, I believe, next week. Yeah, it's so it's actually technically next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. So the Open is played at Royal Liverpool this year. The last person to win at Royal Liverpool, the Open, was Roy McIlroy in 2014. So, little fun fact there. But that'll be
And that was his last
so that'll be
major,
last
right?
major of this year. And like I said, it's July 19th through 23rd.
I mean, come on. Can we pull for that storyline? Can we pull for that storyline?
I'm telling you what,
Rory
I
winning again?
am not going to, because guess what? He's not American.
Because I was literally about to say you don't like anyone who's not American. I'm still telling Heather this.
Yeah,
Still
so
gonna
if
tell
Heather played the LPGA Tour and she didn't have an American
still would not
flag
pull
beside her, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to say. I like
Yeah.
Heather. I just would root for her.
Shout out Heather. Christian's becoming a fan. That's right.
So, yeah, so that, and then did you see the comments about Koepka and Matthew Wolff?
Yes, where he was saying that Matthew Wolff just kept giving up on the golf course.
Yeah, he
basically.
first told Matthew Wolff that he was like a little boy,
And
essentially. Like,
yeah, he's like, "Hey, child, I've given up on you as your
yeah.
team captain."
And so Matthew Wolff like responded a couple days ago and was apparently really upset by it. I'd be pretty upset by it if Brooks Koepka said I was a quitter and a loser.
I mean, upset, but at the same time, it's like, step it up, my guy.
It's tough love.
What you didn't do? Just cry about it, prove his point,
You
right?
could definitely tell Brooks Koepka responds very well to harsh criticism. Like, Brooks Koepka's coaches are just berating him constantly. Like, you're an idiot. You suck at what you do. You're not a man.
Yeah.
That blonde hair's stupid. Like, I mean, you could go on and on and on. And he likes it. I think that's how he responds.
Yeah, they're like, "Good job, Brooks," and then all of a sudden he finishes like,
Yeah, it's like,
70th.
good job, Brooks. And he's like, shut up.
But then they're like, "You're
Yeah.
terrible."
Yeah, he needs that, like,
Maybe back to full swing when we had Mopey Brook of like, I'm the worst in the world. Like, that's why he's playing
Exactly,
so good.
because he like just beats himself up. So anyway, he took it out on
Had to
our boy
berate
Matthew
himself.
Wolf, who, to Brooks' defense, sucks now.
So, well, I was thinking about it when I saw this because you were saying when we were doing the winners and losers of Live, like the merge, you were like, Matthew Wolf's kind of one of the winners because he got a big deal and then he's just terrible.
Yeah, dude. Matthew Wolf, like,
So maybe you inspired Brooks to say that.
I mean, first of all, Matthew Wolf's still young, so I think he's like 24. So I don't want to say like the guy officially sucks because obviously, I think he won the 3M, so he has a PGA Tour win, and he's finished like top 5 in a major. So at the end of the day, guy's decent golf. But yeah, lately, like the last year,
And again, he's on the PGA
yeah,
Tour or
but
not. He's on
he's
Live,
been
but,
battling.
so.
I looked into it, so like mental health issues. So I hope everything continues to get resolved because golf is such like a mental game, and the minute that you don't have it mentally, even if physically obviously you do, it's like,
Dude, I was laughing, like, for me, not in a tournament, just playing for fun.
just trying to break
I think
90.
I'm a pretty like mentally tough person. But on a golf course, I'm a basket case. I have a basket case. Like, I feel like I am just inviting anyone to throw off my
Yeah,
game.
and you're trying to break 90.
Like, come on, so
And
weak.
then these guys are trying to break.
Breaking. No. The new goal that's the new goal this summer is I would like to stay consistently under 90 by the end of the
You
season.
should go for a consistently under 90. Okay.
Me too.
So your last 10 rounds of the summer, you want like what, 7 of them to be under 90? Like what's the criteria? What does that mean?
Yeah. Actually, well, like I kind of want to get to the point where like I rarely shoot 90s.
So then you have to get to
I would
the
like
point,
9
though.
out of 10 in the 80s. Because it's
You
like
have to get
lately,
to a point though. If that's the case, you have to get to a point where you're not consistently, but like when you're playing well, shooting low 80s. Like yeah.
yeah, that's the goal. Because it's like, yeah, the rounds, like, of the last 3, I think it was like an 88, 93, and 91 or something.
Okay.
For the last 3 that I've played. And so it's like, okay. But it's always the downside that kills me. You know what I mean? Like, it's the doubles and the triples. Just stop being stupid. And I think I told you this, but I realized, like, I'll have a bad shot, and then I'm like, well, I've got to go to the green here over the water at 250 now to save this hole. When it's like, no, you don't. Just lay up, and you're going to probably bogey. Or like a lot of the times recently, it's been a bogey, which is what I kind of need to be doing to stay under 90. But instead, I'd go for something stupid and end up with a double or
Dude,
triple.
I'm telling you what, even in my situation, like bogeys are your friend sometimes. Now there is such thing as a stupid bogey. Like when you're 100
Yeah.
yards to the middle of the fairway and you bogey, that's a dumb bogey. But when you are behind trees or you're hitting an awful drive or you hit an awful second shot and have an impossible chip to get up and down, like take your medicine as much as it sucks. 2-putt, get out of there with bogey, do whatever you can to get bogey because, dude, you could have 15 bogeys every round and 3 pars, and you're shooting between 85 and 88, or 85 and 87, depending on the par, every time.
Exactly. And it's like so dumb, but like if you actually think about it, like every stroke matters the same. So like if I'm shooting a 91, that could have been an 89 if I had just bogeyed one of the ones that I tripled.
Exactly.
Or you know what I mean? Like
That's true.
It's so simple, but I just don't. Have you seen much of Scott, whatever his name is, with Decade Golf? So like it's like a very like analytic driven platform, but it's essentially looking at like the average dispersion. And so the thought is essentially like, especially for medium to higher handicap golfers, it's like here's like your distribution. It's like a shotgun blast.
Right.
You're not going to hit it exactly where you want it. So it's like, where do you aim it so that you have like either side of your dispersion is pretty safe, then like readjust, shotgun blast it again. But so like with Foreplay, they were doing a series called Fixing Frankie. And I've been watching it. It's just like 3 episodes.
I've seen a
It's
couple of those.
But he does the second one. You've seen a couple of them. And it's just like when I'm watching the course management that Scott's suggesting, I'm like, that's just so much smarter than what I do. And then I think I tricked myself in thinking, but like, that's not fun golf. It's more fun to try to hit this crazy shot. And I'm like, no, it's not, because hitting in the woods is not fun.
You know what's not fun? I can tell you what's not fun. What's not fun is being in the woods, hitting a tree, and hitting an OB. That's not fun. Which we've done. We've done that.
Yeah. It's like the shot there.
We've done that.
Because he was like, what are you trying to do? And he's like, you're going to try to punch it through here, aren't you? And he's like, yeah. He's like, no, you're not. You're not going to carry the rough. And like, you're probably going to hit a tree here. It's like, just punch straight out.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I think the average golfer can take 5 to 8 shots around just by not being dumb.
I know that I could. So anyway, we'll keep you updated on.
We should do a series that's getting Joe to 80 or getting Joe to 79.
Dude, I like that.
Let's do it.
We'll keep you updated, people. Anything else about golf?
Jump into baseball. Let's do it.
Because at the All Star break now. Let's jump into baseball. So today is Monday, July the 10th, and tonight is the Home Run Derby. I love the Home Run Derby in general. Not as many people that I really wanted to watch tonight, but it makes sense. It's like if you're crushing it, I could see not wanting to mess up your swing.
Right.
But
yeah, how cool would it be to see Ohtani in it? I mean, just going
yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still just fun in general, but we'll see how that goes. I was going to do a prediction, but honestly, it would be a blind guess, and by the time that anyone listens to this, they would already.
Yeah, but I love the Home Run Derby too. Do you remember when Bryce Harper and his dad? It's just fun. Oh, when they won the Home Run Derby, that in Nats Stadium while he played for the Nationals.
Dude, that was a good one. And then remember Josh Hamilton when he had, 28 that round?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Pretty sure it was 28. With and they're hitting 500-foot ones. It's just, I'm like, that's a massive hit with a metal bat. This is ridiculous.
Feet's a massive hit. 500 feet is nuts.
Dude, it's funny when you see different perspectives on some home runs. It's like you just become accustomed to them watching games. And then you see it, for me, it happened, maybe it was on the Apple TV one where you just saw a little bit different angle. I'm like, man, they hit the ball so far and so hard.
Dude, so far.
But who do you think is going to win the All Star game, though? So far.
That's a great question. What's the record here?
I think the AL probably has it. We'll see. I think the NL is going to win this year, though. That's my prediction.
So, because I want to do a couple fun facts about the All Star game.
Hit me.
So, 92 All Star games in MLB have been played since 1933. 92. Well, I guess it makes sense math-wise. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. The AL leads the series, right, with a 47-43 record.
Ooh, that's a little bit closer than I was expecting, but that sounds...
There's 2 ties, which I don't really know how that happened. But 2 ties. So 47-43-2 AL. And they have a 381 to 371 run advantage.
So it's 2 runs in the entire...
No, 381 to 374. Sorry,
wow.
So it's 7 runs.
That's crazy.
In the entire 92 games. It's 7 run difference. But the last 10 years, this is what I want to touch on too. So it's been pretty close. But dude, you ready for this? The last 10 years...
Yeah, hit me.
The AL is up 9-1.
9-1. Maybe that's why I thought it was such a big difference.
In 2012, right, the NL won. And then 2013 through 2022, the AL won. So they've won 9 straight. So this would be 10 straight AL victories.
I was still in... Wait, 2012. Yeah, so I was still in high school when the NL won.
I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. That's crazy. I'm saying they don't get 10. No way. I'm saying Acuna takes the NL home.
Well, I mean, basically, this All-Star game is the Rangers versus the Braves.
That's a good point.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Rangers and Rays versus
And
Dodgers and
seriously,
Braves.
it's unbelievable.
Fair.
It's the Rangers, first of all.
It's nuts. I mean, Braves have 8.
Rangers, Rays, Braves, Dodgers. I mean, my goodness.
Because Rangers have four starting, I think. But then the fact the Braves have 8, the entire Braves infield, literally. Well, we've got 2 starting pitchers, then catcher, first base, second base, shortstop, third base, all in the All Star game. Not all of them starting, but still all's there. And then obviously Acuna out in the outfield.
Braves have really done a good job the last few years.
Yeah, because it's like when they built the stadium, I'd say from like 2016, 2017, they were struggling a little bit, but kind of rebuild back. I guess let's jump into that. So at the All-Star break, here's a little update on division. I'm just going to give all the division leaders and the games, like how many games ahead they are. So we've got Tampa Bay leading the AL East by 2 games. Only thing I'll say about the AL East is the Red Sox are in last with a 48-43 record. Like, they're pretty stacked, the AL East this year. It's all within 9 games, and all teams are at least 5 games over 500. So then the Central's close too, with Cleveland having a half-game lead over the Twins. Then in the West, the Rangers are 2 games over the Astros. Ooh. So Texas obviously taking that. Then National League East, the Braves have an 8.5 game lead over the Marlins. I hope so. Braves are, side note, I guess we're getting the overall record, but the first and only team to 60 wins this year before the All-Star break. So super cool. Then Reds have a 1-game lead over the Brewers, which the Reds this year, they had 100 losses last year. They were the first team since, I want to say, like 90s or maybe before, that had a 10-game win streak after 100-game or 100 losses the season before.
That's right.
So shout out
and Ella De La Cruz, baby, still at home.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to show the clip. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just show that right now. Anyone who didn't see this, Ellie De La Cruz, look at this. Steals second, 1 throw. Next play then, steals third. Then this is what's nuts right here. He goes home right now. He literally steals 3 bases on 2 pitches. Second, third, home. I was looking at the ESPN like play-by-play, and it's like De La Cruz steals second. And it's like his 17th steal, or it's like steals third, 18th steals home, 20th. This guy is so nuts. Yeah, I just hope that he lives up, or not lives up, that like the hype and everything with him continues, because he's just electric and so fun to watch.
Also, to kind of piggyback off that, I just wanted to say one thing about the Braves. They've been dominant. Like, obviously, they have a great record, but they lead the whole league, right? The entire MLB in home runs. They're second in the MLB in average. So they're leading in home runs. They're second in average, and they have the lowest pitching ERA in the MLB.
Yeah. They not only are leading the league in home runs, but they have the all-time lead of most home runs by the All-Star break. They're ahead of the 2019 Twins right now. So, and they just hit a home run in now 26 straight games.
That was like me.
So that is a franchise record.
I mean, left, right. It'd be like Army baseball, because it was like home run right, home run left, home run right, home run left.
Dude, I won't even pull up your college stats again, but that's what I saw on the Google. And Google doesn't lie.
Bad, though.
No, it wasn't. It was pretty nice. So then, I guess carrying on with the leaders, the Marlins guy, though, Lewis, he has a 383 average at the All-Star break.
Isn't that crazy?
Nuts. Then, so he's leading an average. Acuna's second. Home runs, Ohtani with 32, Matt Olson second at 29. RBIs, Garcia 75, Matt Olson second at 72. Some other fun stats pitching wise. We've got Spencer Strider and I guess a few people tied at 11 wins. Then ERA Valdez at 2.51, which is nuts. Spencer Strider, though, at 166 strikeouts.
So nuts.
Some fun stuff happening right now in the majors.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to have a good time at an MLB game.
I mean, I don't think anyone could have said
There's
it better
something
than
to be said about that.
Something to be said about that. Other fun thing I saw happen, though. Did you see this clip? So against your Phillies, goes for the double play. Avoids it.
Oh, wow.
Like, what a slide. Look at this. He comes up. He just stops.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, he was freaking.
That's nuts.
Was avoiding that like the plague.
I will say though, it looked like after he waited, which was smart because he would have either forced just to force out at second by the throw, or what happened. But it felt like he didn't run after they threw the ball; like he just stopped.
That's awesome.
Who knows? It was a nice slide though. Nice heads up running. Cool. Sweet. Anything else about baseball you wanted to cover, or should we jump into Actually, no. Let's do Iceman. Unless you got anything on baseball, did you? All right. So let's see what you got, Iceman.
What's up, everybody? This week's Unsung Hero goes out to Matt Turner. Matt Turner is the current starting goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team. He came with 2 massive penalty kick saves in the Gold Cup quarterfinal last night against Canada. As the game went into extra time and into penalty kicks, it ended up being that Matt Turner hadn't had to make a save all night. Canada played a very defensive-paced game. However, when he got to penalty kicks, Matt Turner did his thing. The man made 2 massive saves on the first 2 kicks of the penalty kick shootout. And then forced a miss by the last man from Canada who hit the crossbar, and the ball did not go in. But when Matt Turner celebrated the final save, he immediately took off his jersey, showing a message that said R.I.P. Malia on it. So naturally, we went to the Twitter sphere to see what that was about. And it turns out that Matt Turner, though he plays in England now for Arsenal, when he was with the New England Revolution, he and the team really gathered around this young lady named Malia, who became a honorary captain for the New England Revolution. And she was diagnosed with pediatric cancer. Unfortunately, she did not win her battle, but Matt Turner continues to draw attention to the subject and to honor her with his play, as well as with a message underneath the jersey. While it's sad, it is pretty cool to see Matt Turner, though he is 3,000 miles away playing for a massive team. He just hasn't lost perspective of what's important in life. Some things are bigger than sports. And for you, Matt Turner, we appreciate it. Here's to you. You're this week's Unsung Hero.
As always, legend. Such a good, heartwarming story.
I just love the way Iceman talks. You know, like just the...
Dude, I loved last week that he was on a boat.
Tone.
Yeah. And that he was on a boat last year just shouting on it with the wind.
I'm telling you what, there's something to be said.
Okay, now I'm going to do it again with... It's true. Last week he was bringing us some content on a boat, yelling as much as he could over the wind because that's what he does. But should we do Florida Man?
Let's do it.
Should we do it?
I hope I win, dude, because if not, oh my gosh.
And we decided that we're just going to alternate who has to come up with a story so we can have more holistic stats, if you will. But so I won last week, but as just a wonderful, kind man, I will be coming up with a story this week. So you ready for this?
Oh, am I ever?
Are you ready? Okay, story number 1. A local assisted living facility was appalled to discover that one of their most popular residents was not who they thought he was. The community's beloved Frankie, a 78-year-old retired pizza maker from New York, was actually Colin Myers, a 37-year-old man from Duval County. Myers had been utilizing special effects makeup to become Frankie, a character that he created to attract and develop relationships with the facility's single women in an attempt to be written into their will. Authorities say that this isn't the first time Myers has been involved with a con involving older people, but refused to comment further.
There's some back there. I mean,
Story number 2. I mean, my man Myers, you dirty dog.
love shows
Story
no
number
age.
2. A 32-year-old Florida man. Yeah. I mean, do we know that it was for the will? Are we sure
I
that
was
he
about to
wasn't just
say,
into them?
people are into all different types
You know?
of things. You know what they say? Age is but
Yeah,
a number.
it's just a number. Oh, but a number.
Same thing.
My bad.
Whatever, you dog.
So, story number 2. Yeah. Oh, man. Story number 2. A 32-year-old Florida man was arrested when police spotted the man attempting to throw an alligator on the roof of a local shop. When questioned, the man revealed that he had stolen the alligator from a nearby golf course. When asked why he was throwing the alligator around, the man claimed he was trying to teach it a lesson.
Teach the alligator a lesson. That just sounds insane. You're teaching an alligator a lesson by throwing him on a roof? All right. That's insane.
Throw him on a roof, flapping him
That's
around,
insane.
you know?
That's insane. So it's true. Yeah.
The story number 2. You're right. I thought you were going to think that I made it up because of golf
gotcha.
course.
No, I knew you were into older women. That's why story 1 was false. I knew you made that one up.
It's true. Caitlin is a whole 5 days older than me.
That's what I'm
so
saying. I knew you liked that, though.
Yeah. You knew that. You're not wrong. Well,
Dude,
well done.
when's the
I'm
last time
impressed.
someone has actually...
I'm also impressed with story number 1.
I wonder what the percentage is of someone who
Trick.
does the Florida man and wins. Like, that's tough. Why is that tough?
Well, we were doing it like right at first. We did it like the first several times, and then we went on like some win streaks. I think we just kind of like know each other's stories. I thought I had you on this one.
Well, I thought I had you on all 3 of mine.
I mean, the detail in story 1. The detail though in story number 1.
I knew you were trying to trick me.
Should we? Yeah, no. Maybe that's the problem. We've just gotten to the point. Not that we know the other one. We've just gotten so deep into this mental warfare that we just sabotage ourselves. I think that's it. All right, let's hit the drafts now, though. So we've got an American League one and a National League one. So we'll go American League, which you'll have first pick for, and then National League, I'll take first pick for. The way we're doing it, we've got a starting pitcher, infield, outfield, a DH. So obviously it doesn't have to be a DH. You can just play someone at a DH. Then a miscellaneous athlete, and then uniforms. So you got
So we have
pick
5
one.
players and then a uniform, essentially.
Yep, and you got pick 1 of
So
the take.
obviously, I mean, this is obvious in my opinion. I'm going miscellaneous athlete first, and I'm going Shohei Ohtani. And the reason I'm going Ohtani is because he obviously is an absolute animal. That man is born to play baseball. Like, I was born to sing. He was born to play baseball.
I mean, literally the only question for you was, is Ohtani going starting pitcher, infield, DH, or athlete? That's the only question with your first pick. Yeah. That's all. Simple. All right. First pick for me, I'm going to go Aaron Judge, and I'm going to put him at DH.
The big mother trucker.
Yeah, and we're assuming injuries don't really matter for this. We're just picking ours.
So my second pick is a starting pitcher. You always got to have good pitching. And that's Shane McClanahan. I said McClanahan. McClanahan.
Ooh. McClanahan. I wanted him.
Well,
That's a
get
great
it?
pick.
I was thinking hand pitching.
That's a great pick.
So anyway,
Well, I was more just talking about your
Thank you,
pick.
sir.
It was a great pick. Let's throw him up on the board. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, nice. I'm going to do... That's a great pick. I'm going to do Mike Trout, though, at outfield. Again, injuries
classic.
don't matter.
Classic MT. I'm gonna go
Classic.
infielder this time, and I'm gonna Corey Seager. It was close between Corey Seager and Bo Bichette. I think Bo has more.
Yeah, dude.
I
He's
think
playing
Bo
really
has
well.
more talent, like future talent. But I think right now, if I'm building a team today, like for this World Series, I think Corey Seager has a slight edge, in my opinion.
That's true. Plus, it's... Yeah, no, I think Bo Bichette's a really good pick.
But
Also, but like Corey Seager... I mean, you're factoring the last couple years, too. So,
yeah,
Corey
but
Seager
if
makes sense.
we're trying to build a franchise,
I'm gonna
I'd rather
do-
have Bo, of course. Like if we're actually building, a franchise.
But right now, we're just making a
Yeah.
World Series push. So I like it. I'm going to do uniform just because of strategic pick reasons. And I'm going to go the Oakland Athletics. One, because I don't know how much longer they're going to be around. Two, I think the green and yellow is just a unique color palette. And it was my high school one. Not that I care about that, but fun fact for everyone. And I just think it's unique and
Yeah,
cool.
fair enough.
So we're going to be making a World Series run decked
it.
out in the A's uniform.
Ace does have a sick uniform. So I'm going outfielder
Yeah.
here with my fourth pick, and I'm going with the RBI leader going into the All Star break, Adolis Garcia, who has been a
Garcia?
force to be reckoned with the Rangers.
That's really good. I'm going to do... who do I want to do here? I'm going to go infield and do Yandy Diaz. The Rays first baseman.
He's a beast. There's some good first basemen this year. I'm going to go number 5.
Yeah, they really are.
I'm going to go number 5 with a DH. I'm going to go Jose Ramirez. Just a solid DH.
I'm going to do... Let's see. You got to. I'm going to do Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to, right? You got the family legacy, the name,
What a father-son combination.
playing well. Get someone from Canada involved.
I mean, seriously, what a
I know,
father
seriously.
freaking son combination, man. So, for me, this has been one of my favorite uniforms. So I'm
combo.
going to do a uniform pick here as my last. And I'm going to say the Twins. The Twins have such a cool little cartoon
The Twins.
uniform logo. It's just good. I think it's one of the most underrated uniforms.
The little TC,
Yeah,
the
I think
Twin
it's one
City.
of the most underrated uniforms.
That's true, and I think I slapped. Oh yeah, okay. On this graphic, we got pulled up the solid blue, but you probably like the pinched. Or they have a pinched. No, it's just solid white, right? With Twins. Or you
Let's
like
see.
all of them?
My favorite would be the light blue one.
Ooh, the light
Yeah.
blue one's
Have you
kinda
seen
nice.
that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
light
look
blue ones.
sick.
Light blue ones are sick.
Well, we got dark blue ones on here, but I might. We know that with the caveat, you're saying light blue. Okay, let's go. Starting pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi. Let's see my pick. Throwing a Ranger for you.
Nice.
Since you got,
You got
two
two
of them.
pitchers, so you might do well.
It's good looking
Might do
lineups
well
right there.
with two pitchers, though.
You got
Yeah,
two
I know.
pitchers.
I'm a beast, dude.
All right. You are a beast. All right, so let's do National League now. I'm going to go first because you got American League. So first pick of the National League draft. We got to do it. Ronald Acuna Jr. in outfield.
my first pick in the NL draft of 2023 All Star.
Hope you're not doing who I think.
Is Freddie Freeman as my infielder. I mean, he's without a doubt, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. It's so tough. I think I've mentioned this before. I miss Freddie as a Braves fan, but then Matt Olson's also playing incredibly, so it's like I can't really get too upset, but you just miss him. So I really wanted, obviously, he would have been the second pick. Couldn't have fallen to third. So that was a good pick getting Freddie Freeman there. Pick 2 for me. This might be too much hype, but Ellie De La Cruz. Let's put him at miscellaneous athlete. I mean, if you're stealing second, third, and home, you got to be on our team. And look at the speed right now between Ronald Acuna Jr. and De La Cruz. We're going to be flying.
Dude, he is.
Oh, because that's another stat that I forgot to mention earlier. Ronald Acuna Jr., so they kept changing the stat. He's the first player with 20 home runs and 35 stolen bases by the All-Star game. All-Star break, I believe. But then they kept changing it. So he's now like the first player with 20 home runs, 40 stolen bases, and 60 RBIs or something like that by the All-Star break. But it's just funny because they keep it's like, yeah, you can keep adding anything. He's the only one who's done that and has a yellow
I love when they do that.
And his last name is Acuna.
It cracks me up. They do it in every sport. They're like, he's the first person to win that has 37-inch long brown hair that's from California that grew up with a single mom. And I'm like, where we get these statistics
ridiculous
from?
now. But anyway, I mean, that's how you know they have such a good database that they can just search some stuff and then they're like, oh, let's have fun. Let's add this category and this filter.
Whatever.
So,
whatever.
Who you got pick 4?
I'm going to say number 2. I'm going to go DH here, and I'm going to go with J.D. Martinez as my DH.
It's a good pick there. I'm going to go starting pitcher. This hurts me, but I also think he's a great pitcher. So Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, so another strategic pick for my third pick. I'm going to go the Cubs uniform.
Ooh, you love that. I love
the C because my name's Christian and it's a C.
That's a good one.
But also, I love the pinstripes and I just love it's like the minimalist look.
And it's just a classic baseball uniform. It's a good one. Since we mentioned him a minute ago, I'm going to put Matt Olson at DH.
Oof, he's a beast, dude. He's an absolute beast. All right. I waited to do outfielder because you did outfielder, so I was like, no reason to pick it second quickly. But my outfielder, pick number 4, obvious, Mookie Betts.
You're basically just the Dodgers at this point. Dodgers with the Cubs uniform.
That's a good point.
All right, fair enough. And I mean, I've got a Dodger to add to it. That's well, I guess you'll be the Dodgers. I'll be the Braves. I'm gonna take Orlando Arcia as an infielder.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So number 5, I'm gonna go Braves, and I'm gonna go Spencer Strider.
Keep the Braves rolling. I like
Spencer Strider, starting pitcher.
The strikeout king.
And he is the strikeout.
The strikeout king himself.
I mean, my guy is like a king cobra.
Dude, that's true. He's tied for the league in wins. It's a great pick. Final pick. I'm gonna do the Marlins '90s throwback uniform. I'm so sad that they ever went to that atrocious new logo they have because I love the teal, love the old Marlins stuff.
I agree. Like when did they go to the World Series with Dontrelle Willis?
So
those are some good uniforms. I think that was 2003, maybe. No, I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, plus I think I mentioned it growing up in Little League. our family was always either like the Cardinals or the Cardinals or the Marlins. So very nostalgic there too.
Yeah.
But so who you got the last pick? Your
I'm
miscellaneous.
going to go with someone who has the potential to be, I'm going to say it, one of baseball's greatest players. He has the potential. And that's 22-year-old Corbin Carroll.
That's a good pick.
You know, he was born
really
in
good pick.
2000.
Dang.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy about it.
Dude, that was awesome.
It was a
that
good
was a good draft.
Yeah.
I like our picks here.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Well, if you thought so, why don't you share with a friend? That would be really cool.
Yeah, if you thought it was a good draft, which it was, just freaking share with your buddy Carl.
Keep the episode alive. Keep passing it around. Just do it. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Just do it.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow.
Peace.